people try to say, well, you should try to learn 10 words a day and really make sure you can use them and sort of nail them down. I've never found that effective. Hi there, Steve Kaufmann here. Today, I want to talk about learning vocabulary and why we shouldn't try to remember vocabulary. Now, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, click on the bell for notification. If you follow me on a podcast service, please leave a comment. So, I mentioned the other day that I went to visit my brother who's not well. He's sort of bedridden. I gave him an iPad and I tried to get him going on Link. So it's very interesting for me, and I speak to him every couple of days. It's very interesting for me to see his experience because he's not an experienced language learner. And so he's learning Link and he's getting used to learning, in his case, Spanish using Link. And so he said to me on several occasions, you know, I keep on trying to remember this sentence or this word and I can't remember it, and it's quite frustrating. And so I tried to explain to him again that, you know, don't worry about not remembering. In fact, don't even try to remember the vocabulary. Keep moving on, and eventually the words will start to stick. And I thought of my own process of language learning, and I mean, the bulk of my words, I learn them through listening and reading. I look words up every time. Like if I'm on my lesson page in Link, if it's a blue word, obviously I look it up in order to get the meaning. It's now a yellow word. But when I come across a yellow word, even if I kind of think I know the meaning, I'll just give it another quick look. And then, of course, that doesn't mean I can use it. It doesn't mean that I won't again have to look it up the next time. But it's part of that gradual process of getting a sense of what the scope of meaning of the word is as I see it in different contexts, getting familiar with the word getting familiar with me, and at some point it starts to click in, and it's very hard to predict when that's going to happen. And so most of my activity is listening and reading, noticing things while reading, noticing things while listening. But I also do review words in lists. And I've said that I'll sometimes pick, you know, the status 3, the sort of familiar words, to try and move some to known, to pad my known words number. I'll sometimes look at them in alphabetical order just to see the words that have the same, you know, prefix, because that can help. If I do flashcards, I want all the information on the face of the flashcard. It's all just exposure. I don't try to rack my brain. In other words, have either the word in the target language on the front of the flashcard and then try to think what it means and flip it over, or conversely, to see, say, the English word and try to remember what that is in the target language. I don't do those things. Some people do. I'm not saying that it's not effective for some people, but for me, I don't believe in it. I feel that if I can continue to expose myself or expose these words to my brain in different ways, eventually I will learn them. And I have noticed that a lot of the words that I learn that are added to my known words total are words that I didn't even look up, because words, you know, they have things in common, and pretty soon we know maybe a different tense or a different person or a different form of a word that we've already learned. And so without even looking that word up, it's just added to our known words total because we didn't save it, and so the system considers it known. So I sometimes feel that this sort of deliberate attempt to acquire words, and what's particularly bad is if people try to say, well, you should try to learn 10 words a day and really make sure you can use them and sort of nail them down. I've never found that effective. I far rather just expose myself to as many words as I can, rereading old lessons, you know, going into new lessons, exposing myself to these words, and gradually, lo and behold, the statistics increase. And my known words total, all of a sudden, it's 10,000 words. Granted, the way we count them at Link, where each form of the word is considered a different word. But the point is, in my view, don't rely on memory. Like a lot of people say to me, well, I can't learn languages because I have a poor memory. Your poor memory is probably not that poor. It's irrelevant. Language learning is not about memorization. Language learning is about committing yourself to a process, enjoying the process, allowing the language to come into you, and trusting that your brain will gradually understand more and more, gradually acquire more and more words. So my advice on language learning, or in terms of acquiring words, and I should say accumulating words, is the fundamental task in language learning. And so the more words you have, even passively, the better your potential in the language. So it is important to acquire the words, but you're not necessarily going to acquire words by deliberately trying to remember them. A couple of videos I'll leave you with. One where I talk about learning 100 words a day, and another one where I talk about memorization and language learning. I did these a few years ago. Hopefully I said the same things then as I'm saying now. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.